All right, let's get right into it. Picture this. You're just relaxing at home, and all that tech you trust, the stuff that's supposed to make your life easier, suddenly it turns on you. Your smart speaker isn't playing music anymore, it's whispering threats. Your doorbell camera starts going off in the middle of the night, over and over. It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, right?
It's a seriously terrifying thought. And haunted is the exact word so many victims use to describe it. It's that awful feeling that something unseen has gotten into the one place you're supposed to feel safe, your own home. But here's the thing. What if that ghost in the machine isn't a ghost at all?
Well, because it is something much, much worse. This isn't some spooky story. It's a calculated, it's cruel, and frankly, it's an increasingly common criminal scam. And it's designed specifically to prey on your deepest fears.
And this is where it gets really personal and just twisted. Think about this. Scammers get into a family security camera and they start talking. Right through the speaker. Sometimes they talk to the kids, pretending to be someone they trust, like Santa Claus, just to get them to listen. It's how they get their foot in the door before things turn ugly. This isn't just some tech problem. It's a deep psychological violation. So you're probably wondering, how on earth do they pull this off? Well, it's not magic, it's a method, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to unmask this ghost by breaking down their entire playbook step by step.
It's a whole 5-phase operation. First, they find a way in. Then, they create pure terror with what they call the haunting. After that, you get a phone call from someone pretending to be your rescuer. That's when they exploit you, for money, for data, whatever. And finally, they're gone. It's a cold, calculated, and totally rehearsed process.
So how do they get in? Well, the most common way is something called credential stuffing. And honestly, the concept is shockingly simple. Hackers get their hands on huge lists of usernames and passwords from old data breaches, like from some random website you signed up for years ago. Then they just try them everywhere. They stuff those credentials into your Amazon login, your Google login, your Ring login. Basically, they're just hoping you use the same key for multiple doors. And why does this work so incredibly well for them? Because of this number right here. A whopping 60% of people reuse their passwords across multiple sites. That one little habit, that's the wide open door these scammers are just walking right through. It's a huge vulnerability, and honestly, it's one we create ourselves.
Right, so once they're in, the psychological warfare really begins. They take the very devices that are supposed to give you peace of mind and turn them into instruments of chaos. We're talking about playing screams through your baby monitor, sinister laughter from your kitchen speaker, or even broadcasting messages telling you they're watching you. And of course, they do it late at night when you're most vulnerable, just to maximize the terror.
Okay, and this next part is the genius of the scam. It's what makes the trap snap shut. Right after all this terrifying stuff happens, your phone rings. It's someone claiming to be from tech support. And here's the kicker. They know exactly what just happened in your house. And of course they do. They're the ones who did it. But to you, in that moment of panic, this inside knowledge makes them seem completely legit. When you're that scared, it's almost impossible not to trust them.
And that really gets us to the core of this whole thing. This isn't just about technology. It's about psychology. It's a mind game. And to beat it, you really have to understand why our brains are so wired to fall for this kind of manipulation.
They basically weaponize fear. First, they violate the safety of your home, your one true sanctuary. Then, they trigger something called the uncanny valley effect. That's that super creepy feeling you get when something familiar, like your Alexa's voice, suddenly turns menacing and wrong. It creates this intense sense of isolation, of helplessness. And when you're feeling that, your brain just gets flooded with fear, and your ability to think rationally, it just goes right out the window.
Okay, so that's the problem, and it's pretty scary stuff. But enough of that. Let's talk about the solution. How do you make sure this never, ever happens to you? Well, you can build a digital fortress around your smart home, and believe me, it is way easier than it sounds. Everything starts right here, with your password. A strong, unique password for every single account is your absolute first line of defense. Look at the difference. One is basically a welcome mat for hackers. The other is a reinforced steel door with a deadbolt. Seriously, use a password manager if you have to. Just whatever you do, do not reuse your passwords. Now, if you want a secret weapon, your ultimate trump card, it's this: two-factor authentication, or 2FA. Just think about it. Even if a scammer somehow steals your password, they still can't get in. Why? Because they don't have that little code that just got sent to your phone. Turning on this one feature completely shuts down these kinds of attacks. It's a game changer.
All right, so here's your prevention checklist. Let's run through it. Number 1, strong, unique passwords everywhere. Number 2, turn on 2FA for all of your smart home accounts. Don't skip any. Number 3, keep your apps and firmware updated. That closes security holes. 4, make sure your home Wi-Fi network itself is secure. And 5, every once in a while, just take a peek at your device permissions. These 5 habits, they're your shield.
Okay, but what if it's happening right now? Like you hear a strange voice coming from your smart speaker this very second. First thing, don't panic. There is an emergency action plan, and we're going to go through it.
Okay, first and foremost, you need to burn this fact into your brain. Amazon, Google, Ring, none of these companies will ever cold call you about a security problem. Ever. If you get a call like that, it is 100% a scam. No exceptions. Just hang up the phone. So here's what you do. 3 simple steps. Step 1, just walk over and unplug the device. Pull the plug from the wall. That cuts their access instantly. Step 2, grab a different device you trust, like your phone, and change your account password right away. And step 3, if you haven't already, turn on 2-factor authentication. Do it right then and there. That should lock them out for good. Now, once your account is secure, you need to report what happened. Here is all the official, legitimate contact info you'll need. We've got the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, the FTC, and the direct support lines for Amazon, Google, and Ring. Use these numbers. Never use a number that a suspicious caller gives you. And remember, when you report this, you're actually helping the authorities track these criminals down.
Look, if you remember only one single thing from all of this, please let it be this. The person calling you to help is almost certainly the person who created the problem in the first place. The friendly voice on the phone offering to save you from the terror, that's the same voice that started it. The rescuer and the attacker are the exact same person.
Which really brings us back to the big question, doesn't it? Our homes are getting smarter and smarter every day. We fill them with all this amazing technology, but that tech is only as secure as the habits we build around it. So your home is smart, but is your security?